This young man got so frustrated that he couldn't get laid, and because of that, he had to turn into a beast, ripping the lives of multiple women in his rage. And sadly enough, before he went ballistic, he left a lot of digital trails about his descent into this twisted abyss. Picture this. Peter Rodger is just chilling in a Home Depot parking lot in Isla Vista, Calif, probably thinking about whether he should get the 10-gallon paint or the 5-gallon, but bam! His world turns upside down. He finds out that his 22-year-old son, Elliot, isn't just gone, but he's left the world in the most tragic way possible. Now, while all this is going down, Elliot's mom, Elliot Rodger, and Peter's current wife, Sumaya Kabune, are practically in total denial of the whole thing. But despite that, the sheriff keeps hitting them with the cold, hard truth that Elliot's body was what they found. Wait, it gets even crazier. Elliot wasn't just any guy. He was a mass murderer. Yeah, you heard that right. This dude went on a rampage near UC Santa Barbara using knives, guns, and even his car. He left 6 people dead, 13 injured, and then took his own life. This was all going down while Peter, his dad, was kicking back in LA 100 miles away having dinner with his friends. In fact, dialing back a bit, earlier that evening, Elliot sends this ominous email, a 137-page diary titled My Twisted World. Now talk about a red flag, right? Well, his mom, Li-Jin, doing some detective work, Googles her son and finds this bone-chilling YouTube video, the Elliot Rodger Retribution. Now in that video, it's Elliot in his black BMW spewing this hate-filled rant, and this car, it wasn't just a ride, it was a weapon.
In the shadowy depths of a father's worst nightmare, Peter Rodger finds himself trapped in an endless loop of memories, a haunting journey through his son Elliot's life. From the innocent echoes of laughter of a young boy to the chilling descent into a world shrouded in darkness, Peter's mind is a battleground of what was and what could have been. The story takes a sinister turn when Elliot's alarmed mother, sensing the brewing storm, calls the police. But the winds of fate blow coldly as Elliot, with a deceptive calm, convinces them his online tirades are mere child's play. Little did they know, hidden from their eyes, were 3 guns and a young man honing his skills at a firing range, plotting his retribution. Peter, in a heart-wrenching interview with ABC's Barbara Walters, voices a regret that haunts him, the mischance of a gun checked by the police. If only they knew about the weapons, he laments, Elliot's twisted plan could have been stopped, his life, and others, saved. The narrative crescendos on the fateful night of May 23rd. A frantic race against time begins as Peter, his wife, and Elliot's mother, driven by a desperate hope to save their son, embark on a 100-mile dash to Isla Vista. Their hearts heavy with dread, they are haunted by one thought: we must find him, talk to him, hold him. But as they near Elliot's apartment, their phones become harbingers of doom. Reports flood in of a black BMW, an active shooter at UC Santa Barbara. Panic grips Peter. He repeatedly dials his son, each unanswered call amplifying his fear. Directed to a Home Depot parking lot, they wait, hearts pounding, for news from the sheriff. The grim reality of the situation begins to dawn on them. It took Peter 3 agonizing weeks to confront Elliot's manifesto, a chilling extension of his YouTube declaration. The document laid bare a life of inner turmoil, a hatred born from loneliness and rejection, and a meticulously planned massacre. Peter recalls a hike with Elliot, a moment etched in his memory. He had asked to read his son's writings, only to be met with a chilling promise, soon enough. He had no inkling of the horror that soon enough would bring. Despite years of therapy, Peter never imagined his son capable of such atrocity. Elliot was far from evil, he insists to Walters. He remembers a boy filled with joy, laughter so pure it once sparked concern. But beneath that joy, something sinister lurked, something that transformed a loving son into a name etched in tragedy. In this tale of a father's love and a son's descent into darkness, Peter Rodger stands as a figure of profound loss and unanswerable questions, a testament to the unpredictable and often tragic nature of life.
Now check this out. Elliot Rodger, our main guy, pops into the world in London. His dad, Peter Rodger, is this big shot working on films like Hunger Games. Yeah, the one with all the kids fighting to the death. And his mom, Richie, well, she's a nurse who's been hanging out on the set of Indiana Jones. Now talk about a Hollywood beginning, right? Now fast forward to Elliot being 5. The whole family jets off to California. It's like a movie, the good life, sunshine and all. Now Peter's like, man, those first few years were magical. Now Elliot was this cute, adorable kid. Picture this little dude just living it up in sunny Cali. But then, plot twist. When Elliot hits 7, his parents split. It's like one of those sad movie montages. And get this, a year later, Peter marries a Moroccan actress, Sumaya Akabune. And catch this, she's been in the movie Green Zone, so we're still in the Hollywood territory, right? Now, here's where it gets a bit dark. Elliot starts therapy. Well, and it's like he's on this long winding road trying to figure stuff out. Now his dad's like, yeah, Elliot had issues, but nothing crazy, just your typical I wanna be cool kid kind of stuff, right? They are moving him from school to school like a game of musical chairs, but for education. Now Elliot's pretty much the quiet kid in class, a bit shy, maybe a touch of OCD, always sitting in the same spot, wearing the same clothes, you know, the usual quirks. And of course there have been talks about Asperger's syndrome, but it has never been official. Now Elliot's got this journal, right, and he's writing about how he's got this rage building up. He's this kid in Hollywood, seeing all the glitz and glam, and he's feeling jealous and envious. It's like he's in this emotional pressure cooker. And here's the twist. He's good at hiding it. His dad's like, if he were here, you think, what a polite young man, right? But inside, he's got this storm brewing. Now, Peter Rodger, totally clueless about this inner turmoil, says, I never thought he could hurt a fly. No violent bone in his body, like they always say about the children. It's like he's looking at his son, but not really seeing him, you know? But of course, after all said and done, Peter's conclusion is pretty heavy. He thinks Elliot's mind was hijacked by a disease. It's like a tragic end to what started as a Hollywood's fairy tale.
Elliot was a lonely boy who found solace in the fictional world of Warcraft. He was bullied in high school, and his diary entries revealed that he felt like an innocent boy trapped in a jungle full of malicious predators. He would leave 2 high schools before landing at the tiny 100-student Independence High. Elliot had everything he could ask for: a black BMW, designer sunglasses, and more. But there was one thing that always eluded him: a girlfriend. His obsession with finding a girlfriend consumed him until the very end. I mean, look at me. I'm gorgeous. But you girls don't see it. I don't understand why you're so repulsed by me, Elliot stated in his retribution video before his killing spree. Elliot's obsession with sex became an agony for him. Finding out about sex is one of the things that truly destroyed my entire life. Sex, the very word, fills me with hate, Elliot would write in his journal. I would always covet it. I would always fantasize about it. But I would never get it. Peter Rodger, Elliot's father, tried to talk to him about his nervousness around girls, but he chalked it up to normal teenage jitters. Of course you're going to find a girlfriend, Peter Rodger would say. Of course you're going to fall in love. Of course you can have children. Elliot, there's no rush. But Elliot's jealousy and lust for revenge grew stronger. He had a plan of revenge, and he carried it out with terrible deeds.
Now, Elliot turns 18 and bam, the shy kid is gone. In his place, a boiling pot of resentment and anger. Talking to girls, nah, too scary for him. Hating them, much easier. Now, cut to the University of California, Santa Barbara. We are talking about blue skies, clear ocean views, basically paradise. Elliot's folks are thinking, hey sunshine, college life, this will be great for our introverted son Elliot, right? So Elliot's enrolled at Santa Barbara City College, but plot twist, he's not even showing up to classes. His dad's like, I thought throwing him into the real world would magically fix everything. Well, spoiler alert, it never did. And here's where things take a bit of a dark turn. College isn't about parties and exams for Elliot. Nope. He's busy cooking up his day of retribution. He's like, Santa Barbara is the place where I'll get my revenge against women and society. Now talk about a chilling college plan, right? And get this, he's diving deep into these misogynistic websites. He's over there typing away, imagine a world where women fear you. Yikes. So Elliot sends these websites to his dad, and his dad, Peter, he's freaking out about the whole thing. and rightly so. And so he calls Elliot and is like, dude, what's with these evil websites? Stay away from these stuffs, right? But here's the thing, even with his dad's outrage, it's like he's talking to a brick wall. He's totally missing how deep Elliot's hatred actually goes.
In the labyrinth of his mind, a young man's obsession spirals into a dark abyss. Elliot, consumed by the desire to lose his virginity, finds himself at odds with his father's wisdom. There's no shame in waiting, Peter counsels, his words echoing the virtues of patience and chastity. But for Elliot, these words are but whispers in a storm of frustration and longing. As the days meld into a blur of yearning and rejection, Elliot's life becomes a volatile cauldron, simmering with unfulfilled desires. The tension crescendos at a summer party, a setting ripe with possibilities. In his mind, Elliot issues an ultimatum to the world. This is his last chance to change his fate before he turns 22. But as the girls at the party dismiss him, his anger boils over. In a dramatic display, he ascends a 10-foot ledge, brandishing an imaginary gun, aiming at unsuspecting partygoers. The situation escalates when Elliot, in a fit of rage, attempts to push several women off the ledge. But fate intervenes. A group of men, sensing danger, retaliate, sending Elliot plummeting to the ground, his ankle shattering upon impact. When Peter arrives to collect his son, Elliot weaves a tale of victimhood, bullied, insulted, and assaulted. He repeats this narrative to the police, painting himself as the aggrieved party. But the truth unravels. Elliot is unmasked as the possible instigator, leading the authorities to abandon their pursuit. He was such a good liar, Peter reflects, a note of disbelief in his voice. Elliot's talent for deception had masked the turmoil within. Despite numerous encounters with therapists, Elliot eludes a formal diagnosis of mental illness. This absence of a medical record paves the way for a chilling acquisition: 3 handguns, purchased legally. In case 2 malfunction, Elliot reasons, a chilling forethought to his sinister plans. At a firing range, Elliot confronts the reality of his intentions. Firing round after round, a wave of nausea overwhelms him. There I was, practicing shooting with real guns because I had a plan to carry out a massacre, he confesses in his writings. A profound question haunts him. Why did things have to be this way? In the shadows of his troubled psyche, Elliot sets in motion his plan for Retribution Day, a day that would mark a tragic culmination of his inner demons and unbridled rage.
So now it's April, right? And Elliot's mom, Michelle, is having this feeling that something is totally off. Her son's gone radio silent for a couple of days. She's got this spidey sense tingling, so she hits up the internet, not looking for cat videos, but fearing an accident or something. And boom, she stumbles upon Elliot's YouTube channel. Now, Elliot's been posting some weird stuff on YouTube. Nothing screaming, I'm a threat, but still, it's like red flags at a bullfight. Now, Michelle knows her son's not gonna be down for a shrink visit, so she calls the next best thing, his life coach. Yeah, Elliot's got a life coach. Surprise. The coach rings out the Santa Barbara mental health hotline, and they're like, we better check this out, right? Next thing you know, 6 cops are knocking on Elliot's door. Elliot turns on the charm, all polite and well-dressed, like he's about to host a tea party. He assures the cops, nothing to see here, folks. And just like that, they leave, no gun, no checks, nothing. Well, as the cops vanish into the sunset, Elliot's breathing a sigh of relief. Little do they know he's got this day of retribution all planned out. It's like a ticking time bomb, and the clock's just ticking away. Fast forward to the Memorial Day weekend. It's supposed to be about barbecues and remembering heroes, but Elliot Rodger turns it into a nightmare. He goes on a rampage, leaving 7 people dead, including himself, and 13 others injured. It's like a scene straight out of a horror movie, but real. His dad, Peter Rodger, is in total disbelief. I can't wrap my head around the whole thing, he says. It's the kind of thing that's gonna haunt him forever, like a ghost that just won't quit. Now, what about Elliot's mom? Well, she's staying out of the spotlight. She's like, let's focus on the victims, remember the beautiful lives lost. So she's got a point. Amidst the whole chaos, it's the victims and their families who really deserve the attention. So folks, what do you think? Could the parents have done better? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Cheers.